Okay, so this will be fourth lesson. We're going to start learning about a lot more new things, so don't skip ahead. You really got to learn all this stuff, otherwise it's not going to make sense later. Okay, so this right here that I have, in addition to the Arduino, is called a breadboard. Okay, it has holes in which you can connect wires into so that they connect to each other. To make that make a little bit more sense, let's look at the back. Okay, so if I turn it over, you'll see that there are these strips of metal in there. I took one of them out so you can see it. Let me hold it here for you. Okay, so this right here, if you look at it, has a whole bunch of just clips together. And if I take a wire and I push it in there, it holds it nice and neat. Okay, if I put another wire in that same clip, it's as if the two wires were touching and connected. Okay, so if you look at the pattern here, if I put that back in there, if you look at the pattern of the wires or the bars back here, they go in strips. Okay, so it's not everything connected. They go in groups of 5, and then these on the sides, that's actually one long strip, 2 of them going down the sides. Okay, so we got 4 what we call rails, and then we have a whole bunch of these groups of 5. And those groups of 5 are on either side of, I call it the trough. Okay, it's like a canyon where nothing connects. So if I plug in something here, and I plug in something over here in the same row, they're not going to be connected. The only way they connect is if they're in the same group of 5. Now, this group of 5 and this group of 5 are connected, and they remind you by painting that line all the way down the side. Okay, so we're going to be using this to create circuits and put things together and make it work. We're going to first start out with 1 light, and then we're going to slowly add in more lights until you have 8 lights. And then when you move those lights across the sky, you'll have them blink at just the right times that you can project an image into the air. And that's called persistence of vision. Okay? So to show you the lights that you have to choose from, you have this LED, or you have this LED. The difference between them is that this one is a crystal clear one, and this one is what we call frosted. The frosted one, the colors blend together better, and you'll get better colors right off the bat. This one, I know some tricks to make it so the colors blend by putting a piece of paper over it, or a piece of tissue paper, or a piece of tape, frosted tape over it, because I really like to show you what happens as far as how colors combine when they don't have the frosted. So I'm going to be using this one, but if you want to do some of the cool experiments that I do with this one, then use this one. But if you don't, then just grab one of these. And it also depends on what your teacher bought. Okay, so I'm going to use the crystal one, even though it does not blend colors very well. All right, so first let me teach you about the LED. All right, it has 4 leads. All right, look at those 4 leads. The longest one, this one, okay, that long one, it's the second one up, that's what we call the common pin. They all share it. There are 3 colors. There's a red, which is this one all by itself on the other side of it, and then you have green and blue. The shortest one is blue. So a couple things to remember to help you remember. The longest one is the common. The one all by itself over here is red. The shortest one is blue, and then the other one is green. All right. So if you have your fingers, this one is red, this one is your common, this one is your green, and this one is blue. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to plug it in to the breadboard. I'm going to take the long one and I'm going to bend it over like this. So those three are, the color pins are together and the ground is over here. I'm going to put the ground on one side of the trough and I'm going to put those three over here. All right, so the three go together on the letter D, and on F, that's where that one is. So I'm leaving E open, okay? I'm going to turn it a little bit so you can see that, okay? Now if you look at this, the one all by itself is red, and then it goes green, blue, because you have that ground pin, that a common pin that goes to the other side of the trough. All right, so lonely one up here, and then the other two, ground pin goes back here, and leave an open where the E is, right here, the letter E on the top. All right, now let's put what we call some resistors in. All right, so here's a resistor. I'm going to bend them down. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rails to deliver color to my LEDs. Eventually, I'm going to have 8 LEDs on here, and they're all going to share the color. All right, but for right now, I only have one, but I'm just going to treat it as if I had a bunch of them. What's the one on the top? That one's red, right? So let me go from there to this red rail, okay? And then I'm going to put another one on green right here. So it's in green, and then I'm going to put that resistor to that blue rail. Hold on, almost there. Okay. So it's going from there to there, all right? Now you gotta try to make sure to not let those resistors, like, bare wire, don't let the bare wires touch each other, okay? So kind of lean them a little bit like that, okay? Now last but not least is the blue one. Now we don't have any more rails over here, so we're gonna use a rail over here. And we could use the red or the blue, it doesn't really matter, but I'll just use that blue one because it's gonna go to a blue part. Oh, let me move it down. Right there. I'm gonna come and tag it in right behind it, okay? Now don't let it lean and touch the LED. Have it away from it. All right, so this one is going from here to the blue, and then we have the green going to this blue over here, and then the red going to the red. All right, so now how do we get the colors to them? Well, I happen to have a red and a green and a blue wire. Now, just because the wires are that color doesn't mean the light is that color. It's just I chose these wires so they'll help me keep track of everything. I'm going to take the blue one and I'm going to plug it in here. Now, I could plug it in anywhere on this bar, okay? And it would still do the same thing. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to plug the blue into 11. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, plug it into the 11 on the Arduino. Yeah, it's kind of hard for you to see, but that's okay. And then I'm going to plug in the green right there, and then plug that one into 10. And I'm going to do the red. Again, you can just plug it anywhere into that row. And I'll plug that one into 9. Okay. All right, so we have the LED and we have the colors. The colors basically give color to the entire bar or rail, and the resistors deliver the color to the LED. You just got to make sure that the resistor goes from the right bar to the right leg of the LED. Okay, so once you figure out how that works, and as you want to add more lights, all you have to do is just stick them right next to each other and just tag in more resistors. Okay, and the resistors help limit the current so that we don't burn out the LED. The LED only likes about 2 to 3 volts, and the Arduino puts out 5 volts. All right. Okay, so let's make that nice and neat, just like that. So I'm going to stop it right there, and that'll be just getting it ready to program. Actually, one more thing, sorry, almost forgot. Plug in another wire that goes from that common pin, any one of these. So I just tagged it in here. I could have done any of those. And then plug it in to the 0. Okay, so electricity is going to the LED through the colors. Okay, because there's 3 different LEDs inside of this LED. So we have 3 different things turning it on, but it won't turn on unless electricity can get to ground. And we're going to use this 0 pin to either let electricity go through and out the LED, or to just shut it off completely. And then when we get more LEDs, we'll have a ground wire for each LED so that you can turn on any LED you want and turn it any color that you want. But they all have to share the colors, okay? I'm going to turn it on its side so you can see this one's on the bottom one here. These ones here, you skip one and then it's the 3 right next to each other, okay? These don't matter where on the bar it is, as long as it's, the green one is right here, the red one is somewhere on here, and the blue one is somewhere in here. The white one matters as far as in this row right here. And again, the resistors go where you need them to be.